I'm a person who suffers extensively from the property sector, but I have to admit, this is a very successful strategy.
When you have a downturn, people started to put security over again growth opportunities. And so they're looking for a job and provide them securities.
Just like what Justin was saying, that we need them to give them security, jobs, incomes, homes, and all that. There's a huge society in China, are very liberal, so liberal that we don't believe it.
喺睇片之前，大家記得分享、讚好同訂閱灼見名家，最緊要撳埋呢個鐘仔，咁你就唔會錯過我哋嘅最新影片。
I'm a student at the Department of Philosophy and a major in AI ethics and society. And I think during this speech, we can see the speech is very powerful in influencing China's economy. However, I don't see there are a lot of policies that would empower individuals. And I think sometimes individual agencies and individual feeling empowered is very important in terms of entrepreneurship or in terms of how one individual can exert, can have an impact in the world. So will there be policies that could empower individuals instead of relying on the state? Because we can see people rushing to civil servants and people just rely on really believe in the authority, but they don't really see what they can really do by themselves.
Well, employing individuals, certainly education, physical opportunities, and people are rational. For any country at any time, when you have a downturn in the growth rate, in general, people started to put security over again growth opportunities. And so they're looking for a job and provide them securities. But if you have a more dynamic growth, then they will shift to capture more opportunities. And I think that's a common phenomenon, not only in China, almost in every country. I'm sure also in Hong Kong. And so the best way to provide opportunity to the entrepreneurship certainly is maintain stability, maintain growth in the country. And by that, it will provide more opportunities for entrepreneurship. But no matter how hard the government do, like China today is one of the largest trading countries in the world. Certainly China will be affected by the global economic situation. No matter how hard we do our job, and we have a cyclical situation in the Chinese GDP is unavoidable. And during the downturn, certainly people will pursue security more than develop opportunity. But at the end, the result, to encourage more entrepreneurship is to have a better business environment, have a better growth opportunities, and with that, certainly more people will be attracted to be entrepreneurs.
Because I don't want an aged economist to answer a young lady's liberal thinking question, okay? Because what she was asking is why everybody running to the civil service, why everybody listen to the government. Now, please, like I said, there's always so much misunderstanding. I lived there since 1979, okay, so I was not born in mainland, but I went to there. You are seeing a lot of the things from media, like mine, okay? But the biggest problem is that China is always having a defensive communication. So people keep talking about why the government is like that, why the government, and then they're defending, oh, we just like what Justin was saying, that we need them to give them security, jobs, incomes, homes, and all that. There's a huge society in China, are very liberal, so liberal that we don't believe it. Okay, so there's a huge segment. I'm not asking you to promote literary book, 小红书, okay? But if you go there, go to Douyin, okay, I'm sure you will find a very liberal segment in the society. And you will see that much more. But people outside don't really understand it as much. So please, there's a parallel society there, and they are converging pretty well. So I wish you will be able to have an open mind in that aspect.
Dr. Yu, one of the most liberal places in Beijing is actually Peking University. For those of you who want to learn more from Professor Lin, there's actually a famous debate between Professor Lin and Zhang Weiying on YouTube 10 years ago about international policy.
We look at the statistics published by the MES in the first 5 months of this year. The fixed asset investment from the private sector increased by only 0.1%, dragging down the fixed asset investment growth to only 4%. And then also, if we look at the property sales in the first 5 months is decreased by 28%. So this clearly points to a sluggish confidence both in the private entrepreneur to make new investment, and also the sluggish household confidence to make big ticket purchase like property. So my question about the challenge is that what kind of forceful measures should the Chinese government take in order to turn around the confidence of private sector, the private entrepreneurs and households?
About how to have the confidence of Chinese people. Secondly, because you have continuous growth, that means you need to have a continuous adjustment. In this adjustment, you must have some sector rules, and you have some sector end. And so you're going to have some people who are optimistic, and some people who are pessimistic. And especially when everyone said China is going to collapse, it will cause most people to be against. And so it's very, very, very important. We need to have a better analysis. What are the causes of the challenge in China? That's one thing. What are the reasons for these challenges? That's one thing. And the second is also very important for us to understand what are the opportunities and efforts of the country in moving the Western direction to capture the opportunities. We need to have this kind of more balanced analysis in order to change people's perception. But unfortunately, international leaders, they like to talk about the trouble in China. Not only international media, it's the national research institution in general also like to know the trouble in China. And if you have everyone talk about China has so many problems, we are not meet right. And how can ultimately people to have an objective understanding of those kind of analysis? So not only in the past 45 years, but we already often heard the coming collapse of China from outside China. Even internally, many people might argue. But I think it's a fact. It's a fact. So the only way to respond to that is to do all things right, make our economy continue to grow. And once you have growth, then people will get more confidence. I think that is the way to do it.
Under the one country, two systems, in the coming 20 years, So what are the main risks and opportunities for the Hong Kong, China, one of the best free economy of the world, facing the challenges and maybe the teamwork from the biggest socialism economy within China? Thank you.
I'm not an expert. Maybe that can be.
The biggest risk for the failure or the challenge for one country, two systems is the Hong Kong government failed to understand what's that supposed to be. And reality tells us in the past many years, the Hong Kong government or the elite in Hong Kong don't understand that. Even in after 2019, I think this is still the biggest challenge, and the challenge is growing actually. And because Hong Kong is no longer in the same comfort zone that they were in the last 40 years, 50 years ago. So if the Hong Kong government, especially the civil servant, the elite class, doesn't understand this challenge, which today I have to say that they don't. So that will be the biggest challenge. And supplement that a little bit is that if the central government failed to recognize that the Hong Kong elite, the government, the civil servant, whoever that is, and the business sector also fail to admit that they don't quite understand that, and they keep going to the central government to ask for direction, then Hong Kong will totally screw up. So I think this is the biggest challenge for Hong Kong, especially in the economic side. I think that's all I should comment on. Oh, one more thing I want to add. Somebody was talking about the failure of the property sector and how it boosts confidence. I'm a person who suffers extensively from the property sector, but I have to admit, this is a very successful strategy. This is a very successful policy. If you look at the 28% that you mentioned about the dropping of the property price, I think it's higher than that, okay? But when you look at that, the banking sector in the last 3-4 years has only dropped about 10 to 15% in terms of the market value. But if you go back to 2008, Citibank, Morgan Stanley, look at how much, how deep they have dropped their price. If I don't remember wrongly, Citibank lost 85% of the market value in 2008. And the banks in China, Construction Bank, ICBC, Agriculture Bank, Bank of China, they only average loss about 12 to 15% at the peak. So if that's the case, you think that's a very serious problem? Yes, it's serious. Like me, there's a lot of property in my hand. But for people, they are not. Of course, if some of you own some property, a flat or something, then you have a problem. But other than that, it's not that bad. Okay, so look at it in a more dialectical way in looking at that situation. I'm not saying there's no problem. There's a lot of problem. Okay, but that problem is not that serious like we heard from the media outside.
中意名家分析，記得俾 like 同埋分享，支持同訂閱卓見名家，最緊要撳埋呢個鐘仔，咁就唔會錯過我哋嘅新片。